Howdy, 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 howdy. Howdy. Terry Tyler here, coming to you live. We're going to test out the new internet feature. Again, we've got Hurricane Dorian coming into Florida. And some of the new models show there's kind of a cold front sagging. It may keep it out at sea. Now, if it stays out at sea, there's not going to be a whole lot going on. As many of you know, there's been some trouble with Amazon, and I thought a friendly way is I did tweet Mr. Jeff about possibly taking the yacht out there on some waves. I said I've never chased storm at sea, and I don't think you could beat. I mean, it's up there. It's one of the best. Ride with the richest man in the world and talk business with 60-foot waves and 115-mile-an-hour winds. Whether or not we can do that, or whether or not it's even legal, is yet to find out. But I'm going to talk to you today about wrecks on the road, damages on the road, why the road is a very dangerous place. I'd venture to say about 80 to 90%, probably 90% of the vehicles I see on the road out here are what I would define as roadworthy. Now, if you have a commercial vehicle like these have to be roadworthy. You have to do a pre-trip inspection. You have to stop and check the vehicle every 150 miles. Go look into CDLs. I had a CDLP with a permit. Wasn't able to go and get the full thing. Like I said, I bought a bus. I owned a bus and I owned a boat. I owned a Cadillac. I owned a Mercedes-Benz before I was 30. I'm certainly not rich, and they certainly weren't the nicest things. I mean, by bus, they were talking about an 88 Schoolie, 55-seater. Never would have got rid of that bus. Knowing what I know now, I never would have got rid of that bus. I bought that bus for $1,500. International bus, had 120,000 miles on it, 2 diesel tanks, compartments for 3 batteries, had 2 batteries, but you put 3 batteries in series. And they had a damn old Buick sitting right next to it. They wanted $2,500. I said, get the fuck out of here. Problem is, the maintenance on those things is high. We're going to go in today, I guess, about broke people driving and really long trips. If you do storm chasing, for example, you're going to cover hundreds and hundreds of miles, possibly thousands of miles, depending. I've covered thousands and thousands of miles. I go as far as my purse permits. I've been out there for days and been on some hellish adventures. Y'all can see them. Go in and check them out. I've been in the hurricanes, and hurricanes to me is sort of the upper echelon. You'd better have, a couple years of experience, and you'd better have your fuel. I recommend, like I said, I had to chart my fuel out. Bring your water and bring your stuff, and I think I'm kind of jumping all over the place here, but on I-20, like I said, I've never had a mishap, never crashed into anybody chasing, and next year will be 15 years. I started, my first chase was in 2005, so 2020 would be 15 years, and now on the 13th, I had a minor mishap, barely tapped into a girder, messed my truck up, or messed my van up, and I personally feel like I was hacked. There's no way to really confirm it, but the van was stuck on the side of the road, and it was stuck there for days. It never got home. I donated it to the cops and to the people that died in the storm or got hurt in the storm. And, I was stuck there. You think, even if you got a pocket full of money, you think you're going to be all right. I know a lot of guys, they chase storms in their sandals. They don't expect to get into anything. Well, when that car's on the side of the road, transmission go out, in my case, it's not moving anywhere. So, to get a wrecker, if you're going to get a rollback, and just to come pick you up is going to be $75. Now, that day, the tornado had tore through Vicksburg. The tornado was right overhead in Mound, right there in Delta, two massive supercells clashing with record high STP parameters. Well, I would say it was the most dangerous chase I've ever been on, most scary chase, but it wasn't about that. It was about the experience I got afterward. Was I-20 was shut down, and all the wreckers were out wrecking. They had to clear power lines, they had to clear trees. So if you think you're going to call a wrecker, I called every wrecker there was, and especially in those rural areas, they're tied up. They're not getting out. So you're going to have to stay the night there, which isn't so bad, but burglars come up. And for those of you who are armed, I had to make a decision. It was nighttime. We had a car come up with a flashlight. I needed to make a choice. Am I going to start shooting? Or am I going to let them start shooting? Is it law enforcement? Or is it not law enforcement? We have an intruder approaching the vehicle. I dealt with it with a woman. I had a woman in the car. And, this was a hurricane situation. Guys come up. They're like, hey, we need a ride. I need gas. I said, hey, I got pretty much as much equipment as the National Guard. Maybe not that much, but, we came down here fully prepared, fully trained, fully seasoned. Never had a problem chasing a hurricane, but it is the most hellish experience. Like I said, still trying to get down there to Dorian. Like I said, I'm still thinking about going, but if it starts to turn out to sea, I'm definitely not going. Unless Jeff calls me, and then I guess we're going to be hitting the yacht. But anyway, if you get stuck on the side of the road, before you even leave, whether you're chasing tornadoes or you're just going to the Walmart, you know what I mean? I tell a lot of young ladies this because I had one, she had to do some things, if you know what I mean, to get back to town. Her husband couldn't get her. She was across the way, and she was out there stranded on the side of the road, and you know how it is with pig dogs. They won't piss on you if you're on fire, if you're a guy like me. I mean, they do. Every now and then somebody pick you up, but if they see a young woman down there on the side of the road, let me tell you what, boy, the buzzards are on there like stink on shit, and you never know what they'll do to you. It's kind of creepy. Even guys, there's a lot of perverts. They'll come down there and not just that. When you're on the side of the road, particularly on the interstate highway or on the county roads, you can have a real problem. Cars slam into you. If you got to change a tire, if you have a tire blowout, you're going to need to replace that tire. And if you don't have the stamina, I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, you're going to have a hard time. And a lot of places, when you go to the tire shop, I highly recommend, and this is a storm chasing tip, Check your tires with your tire changer. Don't leave the house if you don't have a jack and you don't have a spare. I recommend at least get you a 2-ton floor jack. You don't want to waste your time with one of those scissor jacks that might fall over. If you're stuck in the mud, don't do it. Bumper jacks. First time I ever saw a bumper jack in my life. Now, if you got a fancy car with plastic bumper, you probably don't want to use it. You're going to damage your body. But bumper jack's about the best jack there is. And they're expensive and they're rare. I've only seen one once in my life. And I had an 88 Lincoln. Badass car. It was a boat. It was a boat. If you go on there, the biggest hail there was ever in Alabama, 18.75 inches in circumference. There were hailstones as big as my head falling down out there. So, all right, windshields. There's you one. If you're the hailers, you like hail. Everybody likes hail. I like hail until you really get in it. And there was a scenario we had in Texas. It was a moderate risk, and we were chasing storms in the roads. We were riding northeast on this road, and this storm that maybe had a tornado in it was on our heels. It was going about 55, 65 miles an hour, and we were in the rain. Now, you got to understand, we're on a state highway. When you hit one of these damn, one of these little town roads, you got to watch out. Look at that Peterbilt there. Kenworth, that's a Kenworth right there, boy. I don't like you, old Kenworth. Yeah, get you, old Kenworth. You like this new data feed? Shout out to my people, one of my patrons, El Diablo. I said, hell, we finally earned enough money. The fucking YouTube paid for the phone bill, man. Ain't that cool? So we were able to up the package. Like I said, I've been fighting AT&T, but without getting too deep into that, the storm, we could ball out ahead of it probably 60, 70 miles an hour, but sun's starting to set. Uh-oh. Fucked up. All right, looks like it fucked up.